Chapter 381. All Must Die. Bai Ningbing widened her eyes in shock as Fang Yuan suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Why now? Gu Masters already had a clear understanding of the Three Kings' inheritance. And because she was at Fang Yuan's side, Bai Ningbing had much deeper understanding of Three Kings' inheritance. However, precisely because of this deep understanding, she was even more shocked. Fang Yuan's sudden appearance looked like a simple phenomenon, but it contained astonishing implications. Bai Ningbing, do you still remember our vow? I wonder if you still want Yanggu now. Fang Yuan did not mention how he appeared, but looked at Bai Ningbing with his unfathomable and abyssal gaze with his hands behind his back. Humph, as if you don't know the answer. Bai Ningbing snorted and narrowed her blue eyes. She knew Fang Yuan would not speak aimlessly. He definitely had a motive. It seems you need my help? Speak up. Don't try to conceal anything, otherwise I will not help. Fang Yuan laughed loudly without being moved. Back at Shangclan City, we took a poison vow that if one side is in mortal danger, the other must help. I will tell you truthfully that not long later, I will be besieged by Gu Masters, and I need you as my protector to block any obstruction towards my Gu refinement. Gu Masters' besiegement? Hee, I am not surprised. There are plenty of Gu Masters who want to kill you. But refining Gu? What Gu are you refining? Fang Yuan was straightforward this time and told the whole story directly. The most important thing now was that he needed Bai Ningbing's full cooperation. This matter also could not be concealed. Bai Ningbing was not someone so easy to fool if because of him hiding the truth, some misunderstanding occurred and caused the Gu refinement to fail in the end. It would be truly disastrous. What? This Gu immortal blessed land spirit is still alive? You are refining an immortal Gu. You have truly large guts. You are looking for your own doom. Wait a second. What did you say just now? You killed Tai Mu Bai, and also Wu Gui and Ku Mo. Fang Yuan kept it brief and said the whole story in a few sentences, but the information it contained was huge, sending an enormous shock to Bai Ningbing's mind. She felt like she was listening to a story. Fang Yuan did not speak anymore, but directly took out his lute. These Gu. Bai Ningbing looked at the Gu worms Fang Yuan took out and was flabbergasted, even losing her self-control. These Gu were genuine. They were the best proof. You really killed them? Bai Ningbing stared at Fang Yuan, shock clearly visible in her eyes. Who was Tai Mu Bai? He was Southern Border's super clan Tai clan's previous clan leader. He was a genius with outstanding innate talent. His temperament was even more firm and unyielding. His battle accomplishments in his whole life shone with splendor. And with his talent, he researched many battle tactics of the metal path, causing countless enemies to be terror-stricken by the mention of him at a young age. He roamed outside, and his name spread throughout Southern Border. In his middle years, he ruled Tai clan with an iron fist and made everyone fear him. At his old age, he became an emperor of a region. His reputation spread wide with no one daring to disobey him. He was venerated as the glory of Tai clan, radiance of the righteous path. When he announced his seclusion and retirement, many people, be it demonic path or righteous path, let out a breath of relief. Now, he was out of seclusion, and that shook many clans. Even Shang Yanfei would have to bow in front of him to greet him. The rank 5 Gu master of Wu clan Wu Lan Shan was the cousin of the current Wu clan leader, but even she had to bow despite her pride when facing Tai Mu Bai. And this time Mu Bai had died by Fang Yuan's hands. Not only him, Wu Gui and Ku Mo, 2 rank 5 Gu masters, also lost their lives to Fang Yuan. Even more absurdly, not only did they die, all their Gu worms were taken by Fang Yuan. These 3 rank 5 Gu masters really died with grievance. Even Bai Ningbing, this outsider, felt stifled at the deaths of Tai Mu Bai and others. All right, it is about time. Next, I will send you to King Quan inheritance. Advance through the rounds according to my instructions. I need dog beasts, the more the better. Fang Yuan's tone was hasty. Humph, I did not say I will help you. Bai Ningbing's gaze flickered. Fang Yuan smiled. Don't worry, if I succeed, I will give Yanggu to you. Besides, there will be other benefits as well. After leaving Sancha Mountain, you can go wherever you want to. I won't stop you if you want to part ways, and will also welcome you if you want to go together. But whether you agree or not, I will refine the Gu. Bai Ningbing was exasperated. You shameless guy. You are relying on the poison vow to force me. If Fang Yuan was attacked and died while refining goo, then according to the poison vow, Bai Ningbing would also die. That is to say, Bai Ningbing must protect Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan sighed. His tone became mild, and even seemed to have a trace of gentleness. Ningbing, this is not a threat, but cooperation. Think about it. Since Qing Mao Mountain, we have been cooperating, and no dangers have been able to stop us as many enemies fell under our feet. This time is also not an exception. Weren't you always wanting Yanggu? You can turn back to a male when you obtain it. Or have you become fond of your female identity? Bai Ningbing felt goosebumps all over her when she heard Fang Yuan call her Ningbing. And when she heard Fang Yuan's final sentence, she clearly knew Fang Yuan was spurring her. She could not help feeling provoked and shouted, "Shut your mouth." "It is settled then." Fang Yuan laughed loudly and waved his hand, giving Bai Ningbing a dog enslavement goo, then disappeared. The scene before Bai Ningbing also changed suddenly, and she was sent to the first round of King Quan inheritance by the land spirit. Fang Yuan suddenly appeared in front of Wu Lanshan. That Wu Lanshan got a shock when someone suddenly appeared in front of her. But she was a famed figure and a majestic rank 5 Gu master, calming her mind in seconds. "Little Beast King, it is you. You can casually enter and exit this place." Wu Lanshan retreated a step, sharp light blossoming in her beautiful eyes. Fang Yuan pointed his little finger and shot out a bone spear. Poochie, there was a soft sound as the bone spear pierced through Wu Lanshan's heart like lightning. That Wu Lanshan's beautiful flower-like appearance seemed to be frozen as she looked at Fang Yuan incredulously. You can use goo?" The moment she finished saying this, her aura dissipated, indicating her demise. Another rank 5 Gu master died. However, Fang Yuan did not obtain her rank 5 Gu. The moment Wu Lanshan died, a mysterious light burst out of her body and enveloped her 3 rank 5 Gu worms, tearing through space and bringing them away. Fang Yuan was not surprised. He knew Wu clan had a rank 6 immortal goo called No Loss Goo, which possessed the mystical ability to retrieve precious goo worms. Although this blessed land could restricted goo worms of rank 1 to 5, it could not restrict immortal Gu.I. In fact, no blessed lands can restrict the abilities of immortal goo. Fang Yuan took the rest of the rank 4 goo, which were also quite valuable. After that, he took out Beast Placenta Goo and swallowed Wu Lanshan's aperture. This was already the 4th rank 5 Gu master's aperture. Beast Placenta Goo was nourished and looked like a delicate pottery, and gave a sleek feeling at touch. Fang Yuan analyzed it, and found the aptitude had increased to 75%. The aptitude became more difficult to raise the higher it became. At first, the aptitude had directly raised to 40% when the Beast Placenta Goo had swallowed just Tai Mu Bai's aperture. Later, it swallowed apertures of Wu Gui, Ku Mo, and Wu Lanshan in a row, and was only able to raise by another 35%. Of course, this has to do with the foundation of the Gu Master. There are altogether 5 rank 5 Gu Masters on Sancha Mountain, but only Tai Mu Bai, Ku Mo, and Wu Gui are at rank 5 peak stage. Among them, Tai Mu Bai's foundation was the most profound with the huge amount of resources from Tai clan. Wu Lanshan and Wang Xiao are both at rank 5 upper stage, and Chou Jiu is only at rank 5 initial stage. Killing these people might not be enough to raise the aptitude by another 10%. But no worries, there are plenty of Gu Masters, Yihua, Kong Ritian, and the rest. All of them must die. Corpse Dog is purple all over. Its skin is slightly rotten, its lower back is crooked, and its canines protrude out. Using dogs to restrain them, and you will definitely succeed. Choose the left path. The reward for that round is 3 tasks at once Gu, which will be of great help to you. Next, you will encounter a heavy Thai dog king. It is in a seriously injured state, but is even more ferocious. You will need to sacrifice a lot of dogs to capture it. This dog king is the only heavy Thai dog king in the first 20 rounds. At the 22nd round, there will be a large group of wandering heavy Thai dogs. You can use heavy Thai dog king to directly recruit them without losing anything. There would be a voice guiding Bai Ningbing every time she progressed through a round. This voice was of the land spirit. Immortal essence was scarce. The land spirit moved Bai Ningbing to King Quan inheritance and was not willing to misuse immortal essence on her. Bai Ningbing could only go through each round personally. However, although the land spirit's control over the blessed land had fallen to rock bottom, it was extremely clear about the contents of Three Kings' inheritance. There was almost no loss in immortal essence for it to guide Bai Ningbing. But to Bai Ningbing, it was of extremely huge help. As if there was a bright lantern guiding Bai Ningbing through the dark tunnel, Bai Ningbing was able to make best choice at every round, and her strength continued to expand like a snowball. Next, you will encounter a Gu Master as your opponent. But no need to worry, he has just fought a huge battle and only has few dog beasts remaining. You will be able to eliminate him easily. At that time, I will confine him, and after you kill him and take his goo, you can greatly increase the number of your goo worms. The land spirit guided again. Bai Ningbing nodded and slowly walked out of the fog. It is you. Her opponent was clearly shocked at her sight. Bai Ningbing was also stupefied. This person was none other than the person who had tried to make things difficult for her and Fang Yuan before he entered the inheritance, the Yun clan's young clan leader Yin Luo Tian. Yin Luo Tian arrogantly snorted. You were called Bai Ningbing, right? It is your bad luck you ran into me. You don't even have half the amount of dogs I have. He had not even finished speaking when he stopped. His eyes opened wide and his throat let out a strange caw-caw sound like a rooster that had its throat jammed. From the mist behind Bai Ningbing, a large numbers of dog beasts walked out one after another, endlessly. Chapter 382. Continue killing. Impossible. How can you have so many dog beasts? Yun Luo Tian screamed, pointing at Bai Ningbing. As he shivered, his expression looked like he had seen a ghost. The sheer number of beasts around Bai Ningbing had surpassed his wildest imagination. How many rounds has it been? Even a rank 5 Gu Master cannot reach such a number. Yun Luo Tian screamed as loudly as he could to vent the horror in his heart. You must control some loophole. You cheated. You actually cheated, you shameless scoundrel. Yun Luo Tian's composure was completely gone. He no longer had the attitude of an Yun clan young clan leader. Bai Ningbing sighed lightly. Yun Luo Tian was right. He hit the nail on the head. It is true, she cheated. And it was the blessed land spirit who helped her. Under the land spirit's guidance, she had an easy time going through the King Quan inheritance, like she was on a vacation. It was a complete walk in the park. Compared to the difficulties she faced back when she explored the inheritance alone, this was a clear contrast. The incredulous feeling of cheating cannot be described with words. If doing this means I am despicable, I would rather become even more despicable than this, he. Bai Ningbing exclaimed as she waved her hands. Woof, woof, woof. Countless dogs received her commands and moved like floodwater. In Yun Luo Tian's vision, he could see a sea of dogs charging towards him like a tsunami. He gritted his teeth. Bai Ningbing, do not be smug. Once I get out, I will expose you in front of everyone. You know such a huge secret. Everyone will be interested, especially those rank 5 Gu Masters. Ha ha ha, you're finished. Saying so, he took out a token and used it, but nothing happened. Eh? Yun Luo Tian was shocked, activating it again. What happened? Why is it not working? I used it the last time and I was transported out immediately. His gaze flashed as a bad feeling emerged in his heart, causing his expression to turn uncertain. He took out another unused token. He was the Yun clan young clan leader. He had 2 tokens to protect him, but this time, there was no effect either. The token stopped working. Yun Luo Tian stared with his eyes wide opened, staring at his token, sweat emerging on his forehead. Bai Ningbing's dog army had surrounded him and started slaughtering his dog group. How can this happen? Send me out now. Yun Luo Tian's breathing became quicker as he used the token frantically, to no avail. Ah! He screamed, his beautiful face distorted with fear. His hair was messy and his eyes were bright red, like an angered bull. It is you? You did this, didn't you? It must be you. You made the token ineffective, he. What great methods you have. But be clear of this, I am the great Yun clan young clan leader. If you kill me, you would offend Yun clan. The entire Yun clan won't let you off. Yun Luo Tian recovered from his fear and screamed at Bai Ningbing. His arrogance as the Yun clan young clan leader was sustaining him, not letting him kneel down and beg for his life. Instead, he was getting more haughty. But such an attitude was completely useless against Bai Ningbing. I'm not even afraid of Tai clan. Would I fear your tiny Yun clan? Bai Ningbing snickered. On the battlefield, Yun Luo Tian was alone. His dog groups were no match for Bai Ningbing's, massacred till none was left. Bai Ningbing willed, and the closest dog barked before pouncing on Yun Luo Tian. Yun Luo Tian struggled with his life, but his strength could not match the dog. His throat was bitten by the dog. As blood poured out of it. As for the other beasts, they stood in a circle and waited. I curse you. I curse you have to a terrible death. Yun Luo Tian cursed before he died, his tone filled with hatred and anger. Bai Ning Bing shook her head in disdain, walking forward and keeping Yun Luo Tian's goo worms. This Yun Luo Tian walked the cloud path. They were all rank 4 goo, and were all of high quality. As for the enslavement path goo worms he obtained from King Quan inheritance, they greatly benefited by Ning Bing's goo worms. As for his corpse, it was teleported by the land spirit, sent to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was stepping on Wang Xiao, forcing out the location of Wu Mountain. Wang Xiao was the owner of Wu Mountain, a rank 5 upper stage goo master, a true regional emperor. He was an established expert. If it was outside, 10 Fang Yuan added together would not be his match. But here, Fang Yuan defeated him easily, like dealing with a baby. Wang Xiao was extremely angry. He was stepped on by Fang Yuan, as his face and the soil made intimate contact. For a great rank 5 goo master, the Lord of Wu Mountain. This was a great humiliation. You want to know how to enter Wu Mountain? Hee, stop your wishful thinking. Kill me if you want. After you kill me, you will not be able to know that true path to enter the mountain. Wang Xiao sneered as he struggled intensely, but Fang Yuan could use his strength path goo worms. Wang Xiao could not compare to him in terms of strength. After an intense struggle, he was breathing heavily out of exhaustion. While Fang Yuan's leg was still firm as a mountain. Wu Mountain was a slightly famous mountain among the 100,000 mountains of southern border. This mountain was mysterious and illusionary, hidden in a deep layer of fog. In the fog, there were many small paths, but only one led inside. Wang Xiao knew this path, and thus entered the mountain and made the mountain's resources his. Like Qingmao Mountain, a famous mountain like Wu Mountain had at least 3 to 4 spirit springs. Other than that, there were large numbers of wild beasts and wild goo. All sorts of resources that could sustain 3 to 4 middle-sized clans. But Wu Mountain was completely owned by Wang Xiao. Wu Mountain is a natural danger zone. It is easy to defend, and no matter how many righteous goo masters there are, they cannot break into it by force. Wang Xiao used this to become a regional emperor, living freely and easily. If I obtain it, I could use it as my base, and I would have no worries for my rank 5 resources. Fang Yuan thought Wu Mountain was Wang Xiao's good fortune. Fang Yuan desired it greatly. But Wang Xiao refused to speak. He knew that once he spoke, he would be killed. Not speaking gave him a chance of survival instead. Pew! At this moment, with a light sound, Yun Luo Tian's corpse was transported over. Fang Yuan kicked Wang Xiao aside, walking over to the corpse and used the beast's strength placenta goo to devour the aperture. It's him? That Yun clan young leader. Wang Xiao recognized Yun Luo Tian, and also witnessed Fang Yuan using beast strength placenta goo. His heart chilled. Fang Yuan was obviously killing people to refine goo. This goo can devour apertures, not good. My aperture is way more valuable than Yun Luo Tian's. This beast strength placenta goo had already become smooth and clear, like a beautiful porcelain. But in Wang Xiao's eyes, it was extremely dangerous and mysterious, giving off a demonic feeling. Seeing Fang Yuan walk over, Wang Xiao shouted, Wait. We can negotiate. I can promise you to give you the actual path into the mountain, but you must ensure my safety. I have 1 poison vow goo on me. Fang Yuan's killing intent surged, although he had the eating one's words goo and can break the vow. He had little time now. How could he waste time to create the eating one's words goo? As he killed these goo masters, his immortal essence was depleting, and the blessed land was getting closer to destruction. The longer they dragged, the weaker the land. Spirit, and the less immortal essence he had to refine the second aperture gu.at the same time. The blessed land's flow of time was 3 times the outside world. The spring-autumn cicada was posing a huge threat. Fang Yuan killed so many people, he already used nearly 2 portions of the immortal essence, about half of his planned amount. The blessed land's destruction was accelerated, and some people should be able to feel it already. Fang Yuan's greatest advantage was having the initiative. If he continued to drag this, it would get more disadvantageous for him. Compared to the second aperture goo, Wu Mountain's benefits were huge but not irreplaceable. Speak. Which is the path into Wu Mountain? Fang Yuan stepped and broke Wang Xiao's right wrist, shouting sharply, Let me go, and I'll tell you. Wang Xiao screamed in pain. Humph, stubborn. Fang Yuan stepped again. The sound of bone breaking was heard as Wang Xiao's left kneecap was crushed to bits. Wang Xiao shuddered under the pain, as sweat flowed down his back. but he gritted his teeth and stared deeply at Fang Yuan, refusing to speak. Fang Yuan was silent, knowing that coercion would not work. Wang Xiao was an expert of a generation. He had a cruel and ruthless nature, never going easy on his enemies, but also strict on himself. He designed an ice water bed for himself. Such a bed, as long as one sleeps for 6 hours, the entire bed would sink into the ice water below. Wang Xiao slept on such a bed, only resting for 6 hours a day. He encouraged himself and worked hard, giving it all his effort. Other than eating, cleaning, and resting, all his other time was spent on cultivation. His aptitude was not extremely good, uncomparable with Taimu Bai and Bai Ningbing. But because of his hard work, he climbed up step by step, becoming famous in southern border, a great demonic expert that no one dared to look down on. In Fang Yuan's memories, after Wang Xiao came to Etion Mountain, he killed many righteous experts. And his ruthlessness spread. One time, he even got close to vying for the position of the demonic head. Fang Yuan felt pressure in his heart offending such a person. Killing Wang Xiao was weakening the demonic faction in the Etion Mountain battle. But Wang Xiao could not be kept alive. He had to be killed. I have to refine Gu not long after. I do not want to be attacked by you. Fang Yuan sighed, striking the final move and killing Wang Xiao. Later, he took the Gu and devoured the aperture. This process was extremely smooth. After devouring Yun Luo Tian and Wang Zhao's aperture, the beast strength placenta Gu's aptitude had risen to 83%. As for the immortal essence expenditure, it had reached slightly more than 2 portions. He had reached a critical stage. Not good. The immortal essence expenditure is higher than my estimation. This blessed land is too old. Originating from the antiquity era, it is a miracle that the blessed land is still standing today. Fang Yuan's expression was solemn. The actual expenditure had slightly exceeded his initial estimations. Chapter 383, Profound Concept of the Universe, Demon Venerable Honglian. Young man, the primeval essence expenditure had deviated from the plans. You should stop now. The land spirit noticed this error and suggested. Fang Yuan's expression turned cold, retorting immediately. That won't do. 83% is not part of my plans. My plan is to reach 90%. Most things in life do not happen according to one's wishes. How can we get everything we want? Young man, you have been blinded by greed. You are starting to lose your rationality. The land spirit spoke calmly. Fang Yuan cursed in his heart. Without the land spirit's help, he could not use the immortal essence. Land spirit was already thinking of stopping. Fang Yuan had to convince it. Ba Gui. Fang Yuan breathed out some turbid air, relaxing his tone. The primeval essence expenditure exceeding by a bit is no big deal. In my plan, we had some spare essence. Fang Yuan planned the immortal essence into 16 portions. Among that, 8 was for Gu refinement. 4 was to sustain the 3 kings' inheritance and 3 portions and a bit more for killing Gu masters. The final bit would be kept as spare in case anything happened. Fang Yuan had a meticulous nature. He had planned this for so long. How could he not have a backup plan? But the land spirit was not convinced, although it was created from lingering thoughts. It had intelligence and could think. Young man, your calculation is incorrect. Have you ever considered that the Gu refinement process might fail? There is no way you won't have issues. Once you fail, you will waste immortal essence. 8 portions to refine Gu. That was the minimum requirement. That last bit of immortal essence is to allow you to waste when you make multiple attempts. Now that you want to use up this bit, if you fail the refinement even a little bit more, the second aperture Gu's refinement will not succeed. Land spirit retorted. Fang Yuan was anxious secretly. He had not passed the test and was not the blessed land's owner. He could not directly command the land spirit. If land spirit refused to cooperate, there was nothing he could do. There was still a rank 5 Gu master and many rank 4 experts left in the blessed land now. These will all be obstacles for him when he refines the immortal Gu later. Fang Yuan killing these people now was to eliminate his future enemies, to protect himself. But the immortal essence left in the blessed land was simply too little. Fang Yuan had to carefully think and plan his usage properly. At the same time, he had to face the blessed land's inspections. Young man, stop taking risks. If you continue being adamant, I will not cooperate with you. I will even take away your examination chance and leave the opportunity for others. Land spirit was firm in its tone. Fang Yuan sighed deeply hearing this. Land spirits were very rigid. In this situation, it was nearly impossible to convince the land spirit. We can keep the others, but that rank 5 Gu master has to die. He is one of the 4 great doctors of southern border. He has a great network and relationship. We have to eliminate him to be safe. Fang Yuan urged. For your safety during refinement, you have already planned to use that young girl. Together with the beast groups, she can block them for a while. At the same time, I will risk my life to protect you. The most important thing is the success or failure of your gu refinement. Land Spirit denied Fang Yuan's suggestion. Fang Yuan's expression's sake, the final rank 5 gu master Cho Jio, known as Killer Ghost Doctor, although his battle strength was not outstanding, he had great influence. In his previous life's memories. He went to Etion Mountain and joined the demonic faction. Next, he obtained the third in control position. With a wave of his hand, countless gu masters gathered. With his healing, the demonic faction faced less deaths and injuries, their morale surged, and that caused great problems for the righteous path. Only until Shang Yinfei invited Dr. Su Shou. Together with divine Dr. Shang Shou, did they manage to suppress Chojio's glamour. The Battle of Etion Mountain made everyone see the ability of Chojio. The Killer Ghost Doctor also became publicly recognized as the head of the 4 great doctors. After Etion Mountain was subdued by the righteous path, Chojio was captured, and Wu clan leader valued his talent and wanted to recruit him. But Chojio refused to submit, scolding Shang Yinfei and Dr. Su Shou, exposing some of their ancient history, causing the furious and ashamed Shang Yinfei to kill him on the spot. Any rank 5 gu master was a genius that cannot be underestimated. These gu masters could emerge from the commoners and ascend to the peak of the mortal realm in such a cruel environment, surviving many rounds of elimination. They were all heroes or champions. Once he thought about how a person like Chojio might attack during the final step of the gu refinement, Fang Yuan could not rest easy. Although my cultivation is rank 4 upper stage, and my cultivation speed is stunning on this huge stage, I am still too weak. I cannot contend with these rank 5 gu masters. If I had my rank 6 cultivation back in my previous life, no matter how many rank 5s come, I can kill them all like livestock. Fang Yuan sighed internally. You still want to kill someone? Impossible. I will not allow it. Immortal essence cannot be wasted like this. We have to preserve most of it for the gu refinement. Land Spirit heard Fang Yuan's request and immediately rejected him. Demonic gu masters are all like this. They like to take risks. Sigh, young man, do not be so extreme. In this world, why do you think the righteous path is blooming and suppressing the demonic path? It is because demonic path is too extreme, too greedy, and likes to place themselves in danger. The righteous path pursues stability, slow and steady, unmovable like the mountain. Bague, you are wrong. Demonic path members have a tough life. They are forced to take extreme means. If they did not fight for the greatest benefits at every given opportunity and did not take risks, how could they cultivate? How could they compete with the righteous path? Greed, selfishness, extremity, and risk-taking. These are all laws of survival of the demonic path. As long as the benefits are enough, so what if we have to walk on a tightrope? One wrong step leads to game over, making the impossible possible. That is the excitement of the demonic path. The life of a demonic path member is like wine, intense and alluring. Fang Yuan rebuked loudly. Land Spirit heard such words and sighed endlessly. Young man, the demonic nature is too entrenched in you. You can't turn back anymore. In the future it will lead you to destruction. If heaven commits a sin, it can be forgiven. But if one commits a sin himself, he deserves to die. Fang Yuan laughed loudly. Ha ha ha. Bague, you are too naive. What is a sin? Committing a sin means one deserves death. That is only the weakling's naive and helpless expectation. They spread such ideology, hoping people would abide by it so as to protect these weaklings. As for me, I want to be a person who commits a sin, yet is able to roam freely and travel the world. A demonic head who slaughters living beings and enjoys all that I can get. I not only want to slaughter gu masters, I also want to succeed in refining the second aperture gu and become the greatest winner. Bague, feel this. What do you think this is? Saying so, Fang Yuan activated the spring-autumn cicada, and for the first time, leaked its aura out into the world. The land spirit was flabbergasted. This is the aura of a rank 6 immortal gu. It seems to be the spring-autumn cicada. Spring-autumn cicada is the 7th mysterious gu in this world. You are a mere mortal. How can you possess such an immortal gu? To convince the land spirit, Fang Yuan took a gamble and exposed the existence of the spring-autumn cicada. Spring-autumn cicada was a rank 6 gu, and the second aperture gu was also an immortal gu. Such benefits were enough for Fang Yuan to take this risk. Why can't a mortal own an immortal gu? I'll tell you the truth. The spring-autumn cicada was refined by me. Fang Yuan said. I understand. I get it. You were a Gu immortal, but you used the spring-autumn cicada to rebirth and came back to the past to change history. Land Spirit gasped and sighed. Oh? Bague, you seem to know some information regarding the spring-autumn cicada. Please enlighten me. Fang Yuan quickly inquired. Since the immemorial era, there were two types of Gu masters, space path and time path, forming the basis of heaven and earth. Space path represented up, down, left, and right, while time path represented past, present, and future. Take my blessed land, for example. At its peak, there was 6,000 square kilometers of land, and the flow of time was 6 times the normal speed. Land Spirit said, how much was 6,000 square kilometers? On Earth, that is about the size of Brunei.as for 6 times the normal speed of time. It was measured according to the river of time. At its peak, the blessed land's time was 6 times of the outside world. 6 days inside the blessed land was 1 day outside. Of course, by now, the blessed land had severely weakened. Not only were the territories mostly eroded, the flow of time was only 3 times as fast. In this world, there were many different blessed lands, and the size and flow of time were all different. Land Spirit continued. Spring-autumn cicada is one of the Gu worms of the time path. Back then, it had a master who left his name in history, that is Demon Venerable Hong Lian. He resisted the immortal court and broke the chains that bound fate, giving the people of the future hope, and allowed them to grasp their own fate in their hands. Demon Venerable Hong Lian, the most mysterious demon venerable in history? Fang Yuan gasped. In the Gu world, rank 9 was venerable. Demon Venerable meant a rank 9 demonic path Gu master. Immortal Venerable is a rank 9 righteous Gu master. In the eons of history, Demon Venerable and Immortal Venerable were merely a handful of people. They represented a supreme legend. There was only one Venerable in each era. Never did 2 appear at the same time. Thus, Venerables represented true invincibility, and among these rank 9 Venerables, Demon Venerable Hong Lian was the most mysterious and had the least records in history. Even Fang Yuan merely knew about his existence. Now, this was the first time he was hearing about Demon Venerable Hong Lian's details. Land Spirit continued. This world, wide as one can imagine, is split into 5 regions: north, south, east, west, and central. They are close together, yet completely independent regions, with one river of time, flowing from the past, through the present, towards the future. That is the time and space of this main world. If one says that history is a series of still images, then the river of time is a thin thread that connects these numerous images into a line. You use the spring-autumn cicada, forcing your way out of the images, and traveled along the line, moving in the reverse direction as you inject your will and memories into one of the images. That would cause this image's events to change and consequently affect the future images as well. So that's it. Fang Yuan benefited greatly from Land Spirit's words. He had used the spring-autumn cicada twice, and each was a unique experience, causing Fang Yuan's understanding of the spring-autumn cicada and the river of time to become clearer. Land Spirit's words gave Fang Yuan the inspiration for a new and unique understanding. To think that you are a future Gu immortal, and even refined the spring-autumn cicada. In this blessed land, you are truly the most appropriate candidate to refine this Gu. Never mind. Since you are so confident, I shall trust you once. Who do you want to kill? Land Spirit gave in. Originally, it thought Fang Yuan was only immortal. He would definitely waste a lot of immortal essence when refining Gu. But right now, it recognized Fang Yuan's Gu immortal identity and reduced the estimated immortal essence that he would potentially waste, thus accepting Fang Yuan's request. Fang Yuan smiled and promised, Land Spirit, it is right to trust me. I will not disappoint you. The Gu refinement will succeed. In the future, I have to rely on this second aperture Gu to ascend to Gu immortal realm once again. Land Spirit laughed too, having a sense of acknowledgement towards Fang Yuan. That's right. You are a Gu immortal. You know the value of the second aperture Gu much more than mortals. When you become a Gu immortal, the second aperture will give you unparalleled benefits. Chapter 384. Scheming Ghost Doctor, Secret Door of Life and Death. To think that this 3 kings inheritance is a trap. The true winner is you, little beast king. Killer Ghost Dr. Cho Jio laid on the ground, staring deeply and closely at Fang Yuan as he exclaimed. After Fang Yuan convinced the Land Spirit, he rushed to Cho Jio and beat him up. Cho Jio had an ugly appearance. His hair was like dry yellow grass. His brain was protruding, and his eyes were of different sizes. His cheekbone was very high. His nose was flat. There was a large clump of hair growing out of his nostrils, and his yellow teeth were projecting outwards. But his gaze was very complicated. He had a plotting ability that ordinary people could not possess. Little Beast King, I know about you. You have great talent. From a vagabond, you grew to this extent. I admire you greatly. Compared to you, I am merely several years older. When I was young, I did not have such accomplishments. You are a dragon among men. You will eventually soar to the heavens and roam the world freely. I have no intentions to be enemies with you. If possible, I would like to use the information regarding the door of life and death to preserve my life. Fang Yuan had killed 4 rank 5 Gu masters earlier. Some of them were shocked, some furious, some fearful, but this Cho Jiu was extremely calm. After understanding his situation, he placed his ego down and praised Fang Yuan that he laid on the ground, not moving, as if he gave up on resisting. But at this moment, the land spirit suddenly transmitted, "Quickly kill him. He is activating his token and goo worms furiously. I am trying to suppress them, but this is causing great immortal essence expenditure." But Fang Yuan was slightly stunned, almost thinking he had hallucinated. Door of life and death. This door of life and death was a big deal. It was recorded in Legends of Renzu, a secret forbidden land in ancient times. It was similar to the river of time and ordinary abyss. After Verdant Great Sun died, Renzu went to the door of life and death to attempt to revive him. Legend says that behind the door of life and death holds the secrets of life and death. If a person can comprehend it completely, they would be able to control life and death itself. Cho Jiu knows the location of the door of life and death. Fang Yuan's heart was palpitating as his expression turned cold, warning severely. Cho Jiu, activate your goo worms one more time, and I will kill you immediately. Cho Jiu's expression changed, his pupils shrinking as he slowly sat up, looking at Fang Yuan. You can sense me using goo worms. A thought flashed across his eyes. You can use goo worms, while I can't use mine at all. Sigh. It seems there is only one possibility. The land spirit is still alive, and you subdued it. So this blessed land has such a secret. What a pity. Back when the 3 kings obtained this place, they did not truly control the blessed land. Thus you have obtained it now. But this blessed land is on the brink of destruction. There is no way to save it. The land spirit must be extremely old and weak too, right? Otherwise the Goo Masters would have been chased out already. Why would you need to eliminate us personally? Although Fang Yuan did not control this blessed land, after expressing his identity, the land spirit would listen to some of his instructions in order to assist him with the Goo refinement. Cho Jiu was over a century old. He was old and scheming, easily guessing the scenario. Since you control the blessed land, then I won't bother with this pointless act. As long as you preserve my life, what you will obtain will be out of your imagination. Cho Jiu said, stopping his secret actions. Fang Yuan laughed without denying. Talk about the door of life and death. You know the location? The door of life and death is a forbidden ground not inferior to the river of time. There is an extremely wide area inside, reflecting the 5 regions of the main world. Legend says that there are many unique and natural goo worms inside, like life goo and death goo. Cho Jiu nodded. I know the door's location. Not only that, I have even explored it multiple times and captured some of the life goo and death goo inside, eventually refining one life, one death goo. I place this goo inside the door of life and death. Every time a person dies because of me, it will absorb this death energy and convert it into life force. Because of this life force, my healing methods are extremely profound. This is the reason why I became one of the 4 great doctors of Southern Border. Killer Ghost Doctor revealed his own secret to increase his trustworthiness. Oh, so that's it. This was the first time Fang Yuan heard such a thing. Although he had his previous life's memories, he was not all-knowing. Then in that case, tell me, and I may spare you a life. Fang Yuan promised, but Cho Jiu shook his head. The secret regarding the door of life and death is way too important. I have once vowed before the CEO of Goo to not reveal the details to outsiders. Once I say it, I will turn into dust, wiped off from this world. But if you join the Shadow sect, you will be one of us, and I will be able to tell you. Seoth Gu? Shadow Sect. Fang Yuan frowned. Seoth Gu is a rank 6 immortal Gu. It was very famous during ancient times, together with Mountain Pledge Gu. Mountain Pledge and Sea Oath. They worked like the Poison Vow Gu, but Poison Vow Gu was an expenditure Gu, while these two immortal Gu could be repeatedly used. Fang Yuan had heard of the Sea Oath Gu and had an understanding of it. But he was unfamiliar with Shadow Sect. Hearing this name, it sounds like a sect for Gu cultivators. That means the loner Cho Jio had a secret organization behind him. Fang Yuan felt a little threatened. The situation was slightly out of his expectations. It was not hard to kill Cho Jio now. But Fang Yuan knew nothing about Shadow Sect. This gave him a sense of insecurity. That's right, my sect is the Shadow Sect. The great ancestor who created Shadow Sect was a rank 8 Gu immortal of the immemorial era. He was the one who found the door of life and death and placed it into his blessed land. Later, many Gu immortals were nurtured in Shadow Sect. The benefits are endless for you if you join Shadow Sect. Saying so, Cho Jio said a bunch of benefits, truly expending his verbal talent, spouting an exaggerated tale. Fang Yuan struggled a little before calming down. Cho Jio, that's a nice plan there. If I join Shadow Sect, you not only will be free from danger, I will even have to call you senior brother. In such a traditional sect, respecting seniority is the most important thing. If I join it, I will definitely have to make an oath and be restricted with all sorts of methods. At the end, I even have to contribute my gains on San Cha Mountain and do missions for the clan in the name of loyalty. Am I right? Shadow Sect. Fang Yuan sneered, shaking his head. Let's not talk about the possibility of you lying. Even if it is real, so what? A sect that was created in the immemorial era, it is a miracle that it is still around now. You mentioned there were many Gu immortals in history, but they are mostly dead already, right? Otherwise, Shadow Sect would be a great force in the southern border. Why would you have to fight alone and slog it out single-handedly? Cho Jio's expression turned white. He had to reassess Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was so young, but he was so calculating and scheming. Facing potential benefits, he could remain so calm and analytic. What sort of young man is this? He is definitely a 100-year-old monster. Fang Yuan laughed heartily, continuing, I am the type of person who likes to take all the benefits for himself. Don't tell me about win-win situations. Even if you made the Sea Oath, it is not unbreakable. Sea Oath Gu and Mountain Pledge Gu have an obvious weakness. When you made the oath, you had to face the sea or a large mountain. As long as the piece of ocean or the mountain is destroyed, the oath will lose its effect. Cho Jio's heart froze. Fang Yuan was knowledgeable and knew many things. He was not like a newbie at all. These kind of people were the hardest to fool. Cho Jio calmed his spirits. It is useless. The sea that I made the oath to is inside the Shadow Sect blessed land. If you want to destroy that sea, you will need to know the location of the blessed land. But for me to say that location, you have to destroy the sea first. It is a dead loop. Fang Yuan sneered, killing intent surging. Since there is nothing that can be done, forget it. You can die now. Cho Jio sighed greatly. If you want to kill me, go ahead. He did not move, but in his heart, he felt certain. The door of life and death was a legendary location. Who did not care about their life and death? Little Beast King definitely cannot endure such a temptation. His actions now were only to scare him. But Fang Yuan shot out the bone spike resolutely. This bone spike flew towards Cho Jio's heart at once. An intense sense of danger assaulted Cho Jio. What? He actually wants to kill me? Cho Jio was shocked, quickly evading. Pew! A crisp sound and the bone spike pierced his shoulder, inches away from his heart. Only after it stabbed through his back did it stop. You. Cho Jio pointed at Fang Yuan. His trembling voice contained fear, shock, and confusion. Little Beast King, you madman. You really wanted to kill me. If I did not dodge, I would have died. That is the door of life and death. The door of life and death. Back then, even Ren Zhu had to spend all his effort to find it. This is an unparalleled holy land, the controller of life and death. As long as you can obtain it and comprehend it, you will attain immortality. Fang Yuan looked at him coldly, speaking plainly. Didn't you say you can't tell me the secret? Then what use do I have of you? You can join the Shadow Sect. Cho Jio's body was sweating, either out of pain or fear. Fang Yuan snorted coldly, raising his hand and aiming again. Choujio quickly waved his hand, shouting, "Wait, wait, don't be rash. There are other methods than this. We can use the poison vow goo. If we make a poison vow, we can trust each other." "I do not need your trust," Fang Yuan replied coldly. "Then use the slavery goo. I will acknowledge you as my master. Don't kill me. You are a rank 5 goo master. We need to use the rank 5 slavery goo. This goo is extremely rare, way more expensive than its other rank 5 counterparts. Where do you want me to find it? Moreover, even if we use these goo, can you tell me the location of Shadow Sect's blessed land?" Fang Yuan retorted. Choujio's expression froze. Fang Yuan observed his expression, and his heart moved, knowing that the words were true. Fang Yuan's killing intent was not real. He was merely trying to test Choujio. Choujio suggested the poison vow goo, slavery goo. He was already frantic, but still did not dare to mention the location of the blessed land. It seems he really did make the sea oath. Choujio wanted to lie and make up a random location. But as long as he did not die from the oath, it means he lied. If he said the real location, the oath would take his life as well. Or rather, even if he managed to say it, he would lose all his value, and Fang Yuan would not let him off. In this situation, Choujio was at his wit's end. Recognizing this, he laughed bitterly. "To think that Choujio would die here today. Being able to die in my hands is your honor," Fang Yuan replied plainly. Choujio looked at Fang Yuan seriously, nodding in agreement. "That's true. With your talent and mentality, as long as your luck is not too bad, you will definitely be a walking disaster of the demonic path. You want to kill me? There is no point in begging anymore. It is fine if I die in your hands, at least better than getting killed by those scumbags outside. Actually, I have a plan to allow you to learn about the door of life and death." Saying so, a cunning light flashed across Choujio's eyes. Chapter 385. Kindness, Grudge, Affection, Hatred. "Oh? What method?" Fang Yuan's eyebrows raised. "Regarding this matter, I have to start from a long time ago." Choujio heaved a deep sigh as he recalled. Hatred, grief, deep love, and other complicated expressions appeared on his face. "I have no time to listen to your story," Fang Yuan ruthlessly interrupted. Choujio choked. "Then I will make it short. My original name was Xinganyou. I was a farmer who made a living by collecting herbs. One time I unluckily fell from a cliff, but I profited from it and entered Shadow Sect's blessed land. By passing the land spirits test, I was able to become a disciple of Shadow Sect. The sect only had 2 disciples, me and a senior sister. Senior sister's surname is Qin and her first name is Jiu. She was as beautiful as an immortal fairy. She was raised by the land spirit since young and had never left the blessed land, thus her nature was truly innocent. Since birth, I was extremely ugly and had always suffered bullying and ridicule. But senior sister was always amiable and warm to me. I slowly started having feelings for her after being in contact with her all the time. We took an oath in front of the blessed land sea to protect and stand by each other. We cultivated together and entered deep into the door of life and death, capturing life goo and death goo. That was the happiest time of my life, and I had thought it could continue forever. After an earth calamity, the land spirit suffered injuries and went into hibernation. A hole appeared in the blessed land and connected it to the outside world, allowing a scoundrel to sneak in. This scoundrel was heavily injured at that time, and if I had known what would happen later because of him, I would have definitely killed him on the spot. But I didn't do that and instead saved him. He claimed his surname was Shang and had blood-red hair. He had exceptional eloquence, and using his flowery words, he slowly deceived senior sister during his recuperation. His appearance was indeed slightly better than mine, and used his pretty boy face to win senior sister's favor. Senior sister was innocent and ignorant. The more she talked with him, the happier she became. In the end, she took the initiative to take care of him in every possible way. We argued many times about this, falling out with each other a lot. After that thief recovered, I wanted to expel him and continue living a fairy tale life with senior sister. But who could have thought her heart had already changed and actually broke the oath we took at that time, injuring me and defecting with that scoundrel? I was really regretful. I regretted my compassion, which led to a disaster, and I hated senior sister Chinju for falling in love with somebody else, and even more hatred towards that despicable scoundrel for robbing what I cherished. After I recovered from my injuries, I left the blessed land and roamed around southern border, searching for this adulterous couple. But what I didn't know was, this scoundrel had really high status and was the leader of Shang clan. Chojio paused and looked at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was expressionless. He knew many behind-the-scene details due to his previous life memories and already knew who Chojio was talking about in the middle of his conversation. Chojio could only give a forced smile at Fang Yuan's indifference. It seems you have already guessed their identities. That's right. That thief is the current Shang clan leader Shang Yanfei, and my senior sister Qinjiao is Dr. Su Shou. Shang clan is a super clan while I am a lone force. I roamed around southern border all these years and put in a lot of effort to deal with this adulterous couple. Unfortunately, I am going to die here today and have no way of achieving my wish. Fang Yuan silently listened to end and suddenly laughed. He looked at Chojio, who was sitting on the ground, his eyes shining brightly. Killer Ghost Doctor, you made quite a good plan. According to your words, Shadow Sect is only you and Chenjio. If you die, I will have to obtain the information about life and death door from Shang Yanfei and Dr. Su Shou. But why would they tell me about the matters regarding the blessed land of Shadow Sect so easily? At that time, we will have to fight, and no matter who wins, both will be favorable to you. Ha ha ha. Little Beast King, you are very blunt and straightforward. People who only plot and scheme will always act under the radar, but your thinking is meticulous and your way of doing things is domineering. You are truly a formidable person who has yet to shake the world. You are right. That is my plan. It is an open scheme, and you have already seen through it. So are you still going to make inquiries about the Shadow Sect's blessed land from them? Killer Ghost Doctor laughed heartily. Fang Yuan looked at this rank 5 Gu master for a while before sighing. Of course. Life and Death Door was an immemorial forbidden ground like the River of Time. There were many unique Gu inhabiting in that place. Spring-Autumn Cicada existed in the River of Time. Life and Death Door naturally also had similar immortal GU.IT was impossible for Fang Yuan to not be moved by such an enormous benefits. Thus, he clearly knew Chojio's scheme, but was still going to go headfirst into it. Chiu laughed loudly with tears appearing in his eyes. Little Beast King, although you are a talent of the younger generation, I really admire you. I really look forward to the future where you collide with that adulterous couple. It is a pity I won't be able to see it. Our Shadow Sect has different views on life and death. We encountered each other among the countless sea of people because of life, and yet my death will be because of you. This is a truly extraordinary fate. Maybe you really are fated to find Shadow Sect's blessed land and the door of life and death. I might as well give this mysterious fate to you and hope you can grasp it. Chojio became tranquil and his gaze were deep as if he had seen through life and death. It is no matter if I die now. After all, in this world, who can live forever? One can gain a long life, but immortality is a hopeless prospect. Even those immortal venerable and demon venerable will only turn into ashes in the end. Little Beast King, I will end my own life. You don't need to do it. Saying so, he committed suicide by biting off his tongue. Blood sprayed out as his life went away. The Ghost Doctor, the head of the 4 great doctors in the future, died like this. I did not expect to gain such important information by killing this Ghost Doctor. Shadow Sect's blessed land, life and death door. If I am able to rule them, they will definitely be a foundation to my hegemony. It seems I will have to change my plan again. Every single Gu master who cultivated to rank 5 needed to go through the survival of the fittest and many competitions before they were able to distinguish themselves. None of them were a simple character. They all possess their own individual opportunities, advantages, trump cards, and secrets. Right now, all the rank 5 Gu masters in the blessed land were annihilated by Fang Yuan. Taimu Bai, Wu Gue, Ku Mo. Wulan Shan and Chojio had their own distinct individuality, deep foundation, and powerful strength. If the current Fang Yuan was to fight them alone, any one of them could easily suppress him. He was absolutely not their match. So Dr. Su Shou's real name is Qinjiao, while the killer ghost doctor named himself Chojio. It seems the hatred was born from love. No wonder in my previous life, during the Battle of Etion Mountain, he took the initiative to go there and threw himself into that whirlpool, challenging Shang Yanfei and confronting Dr. Su Shou. And after he was taken as a prisoner, he exposed the matter back then and was killed by Shang Yanfei. As for the kindness, grudge, affection, and hatred entangling these 3, Fang Yuan did not want to judge, sympathize with Chojio, but Dr. Su Shou's choice was also completely understandable. Favor the rich and disdain the poor, detest ugliness and love beauty, these were common in the world. Shang Yanfei was a famous handsome man in southern border. Comparing him to Chojio, one was day and another was night. The main reason Dr. Su Shou felt deeply attached to Chojio was because she was pure and Chojio was the first male she saw. And later when she met Shang Yanfei, her eyes were opened and had a comparison. Moreover, Qinji was someone who innately pursued beauty. When a patient came to visit her, she would first look at their appearance. If they were ugly, she would not treat them. If they were average, it would depend on her mood at that time and the patient's examination fees. If they were handsome and beautiful, she would treat them on the spot and not even charge fees. Someone reproached her for this, and she argued righteously, "You ugly beings, the fact that you are alive is simply staining the beauty of life. You should all just die, and that will solve all troubles. As for beautiful things, of course we need to cherish and protect them by all means." These words had caused an uproar in Shangclan City at that time. In the end, Shang Yanfei personally appeared and suppressed this event. Dr. Su Shou's position in Shangclan City was unique. Back when Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing saw Dr. Su Shou together at Shangclan City, the difference in her attitude was very clear. She was indifferent to Fang Yuan, whereas she was very gentle and amiable to Bai Ningbing. But speaking of it, the four great doctors all have their own peculiarity. Leaving aside Killer Ghost Doctor and Dr. Su Shou, traveling Dr. Jiu Ji likes to disguise himself as an old beggar and wander around aimlessly. Divine Dr. Shang Shou is a male who likes other males. Fang Yuan thought casually while taking out all the goo of Killer Ghost Doctor. Chojio had many goo worms. Most of them were healing goo, and besides that were movement goo. He did not have rank 5 healing goo, but instead had a rank 5 movement goo called warp goo. Warp goo's shape was abstract and looked like a fried twisted dough. Its dark golden body was twisted around 7 to 8 times. Its head was twisted around its body. Its eyes and wings were misaligned, as if its creator had created it at a whim. However, this appearance instead matched with its original owner's appearance. Fang Yuan slightly sized it up before storing it. Then he used Beast Strength Placenta Goo to swallow Chojio's aperture. Looking at Chojio's corpse, he chuckled. Chojio, you are really cunning. If I did not have my previous life's memories, I would have truly been deceived by you." Although Chojio was dead, he was hiding a chance of resurrection. In Fang Yuan's previous life, Chojio's throat had been cut and assassinated during the middle stage of the battle in Etion Mountain. But not long later, he came back to life, causing both righteous and demonic path to be extremely startled. It turns out, he had used Remnant Life Goo. Remnant Life Goo was a rank 5 expendable goo. And as long as a goo master's body is intact after death, they can slowly recover after some time and resurrect. However, since Choji was at the Blessed Land, the Remnant Life Goo's law fragment in his body was suppressed by the heavenly power and could not activate for the time being. But as long as the Blessed Land slowly crumbles, its suppression power would weaken and the Remnant Life Goo's power could activate again and resurrect him. Chojio had repeatedly praised and flattered Fang Yuan and put on a show that he was carefree facing death. It was all to give a good impression to Fang Yuan, so that after his death, his corpse would not be ripped apart by Fang Yuan. In truth, Fang Yuan also did not have a habit of mutilating corpses, but today, I will make an exception for you. Fang Yuan ruthlessly attacked and soon turned Chojio's corpse into minced meat. He hesitated for a while and was still not satisfied, so he burnt the pool of blood and flesh into ashes. With a wave of his palm, the ashes fluttered and drifted everywhere. Chojio, if you can still resurrect from this, I will admit you have skills. Ha ha ha.